Mondi,
Julian, what's up, man?
what's up, man? A lot of things to discuss. We just got done with the Super Bowl, and that had to give us 50 trailers, right? It didn't.
I'm about
News
to say, really
reviews,
didn't give us that many trailers, really.
yeah, it didn't. News reviews, updates, tidbits, factoids, all that good stuff. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir. Let's start off with the Marvel MCU news. Bob Iger, of course, president of Disney, says that Marvel Studios will be focusing on their stronger franchises. He says volume will be reduced going forward. So I'm sure you like this, but go ahead.
Okay, well, wait. Now I'm very curious of what you have to say about this. Actually,
No, I mean, because I know you like this because you've been complaining for a long time about how Marvel that doesn't have their A list or even B list characters at the forefront anymore. It's all these She Hulks and Eternals and that kind of stuff. I've always been an advocate for it. I like to seeing the smaller stories, and I think that I kind of hate how the blame seems to be being placed on these lower list characters, tier characters, as opposed to just the storytelling itself. Because James Gunn literally proved in Phase Two that you can take obscure characters and make if you just make a great movie, people will love them just the same. So the blame I think is being placed in the wrong area. I mean, I do like the idea of obviously focusing on like X Men, Fantastic Four, that kind of bigger IP and stuff like that, but don't solely place the blame on the fact that it's these smaller characters because that's just kind of stupid in my opinion. But go ahead.
okay. I mean, your point is valid, and I don't know if Bob Iger, I don't know if he specifically said or even meant that, like, what
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
who
implied. I
gives a
guess
shit?
it's implied when he says
Yeah,
volume is going to be reduced. I assume okay, well, no more
Moon
echoes.
Knight,
Just
yeah,
Spider Man, Deadpool, Wolverine. Like
sure, yeah. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think this is positive. I mean, like, look, we've gotten like 5 years of shit that I'm not even watching anymore, and like, like I'm not watching I Am Groot. I'm not watching fucking What If season 2. I'm not watching I mean, I barely watched Echo. If characters that I knew and loved weren't in it, I would not have watched that. So they have a problem, and I think that they need to get back to people that we know and love, or at least care about. You're absolutely right. James Gunn did his thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it looks like they're trying to repeat that for everything that they put out, and it's not working. So one loss in 10 losses is still 10 fucking losses. So let's get back to the drawing board. Let's get to the stuff that matters.
sure. Paul Bettany says that him and Elizabeth Olsen, Vision and Scarlet Witch, were asked to improvise the Vision death scene in Avengers Infinity War. That just blew my mind because I don't know, like that kind of stuff doesn't get improvised.
Mm-hmm.
That huge story kind of component. What are your thoughts on that? That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, man, very very interesting. They did great. They did
It's
great. Like,
amazing.
yeah, like I thought like the scene gave you exactly what you needed, and to know that it was improvisation is kind of, I'm not sure I 100% believe it, honestly, but I mean,
Mm.
whatever. But yeah, I mean, great work on both of their parts. I can't wait to have them both back in the MCU.
Yeah, same. Like to improvise that scene, like I said, like that's a huge component of that movie of Infinity War. And so the fact that in the original, I guess, draft of the film, Vision doesn't die is interesting. Robert Downey Jr. reveals that he met with Christopher Nolan to play the character of Scarecrow in Batman Begins, but of course he got beat out by Killian Murphy. Um, as I always ask you with these kind of questions, could you have seen it, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, of course I could have seen it. Killian Murphy didn't bring much to the Scarecrow role in the limited time he was
Oh,
given. That's just my opinion. This is my opinion. And I mean, literally anybody could have done it. I mean, I did like his performance, but like it didn't stand out. That's just my personal opinion. And Robert Downey Jr. absolutely could have done it. Now, that's me saying that after seeing him for all this time, like in 2006 or five, whenever it came out, or whenever they were shooting it, I don't think I even knew who Robert Downey Jr. was. So maybe he would have been asked. I don't know. But yeah, I could have seen him doing it.
yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, you're kind of right about the Killian Murphy point. He didn't have much to do, but I liked him for what he had. I think Scarecrow kind of deserves his own movie as like a forefront villain, to be honest. But
Hmm.
who knows? It'll probably come down the line at some
I'm
time.
about to say, maybe happening pretty soon.
We shall see. But yeah, I could have seen Robert Downey doing it too. But I assume if he would have did that, he probably wouldn't have gotten Iron Man. So I'm glad he didn't do that. So
Hmm.
Zolo Maradwainia, the character, I mean, the guy, not the character, the actor who played Blue Beetle, says that he will return as Blue Beetle in James Gunn's DCU. Does James Gunn know this? We don't know, but that's what he says. Are you looking forward to seeing Zalo back?
It's so funny
Zolo.
because that was like my immediate thought. Like, you're I don't know if you're speaking out of turn here, sir, but okay. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, he was fine as Blue Beetle in his movie, and honestly, I think he kind of deserves another chance to see what he can actually do because nobody went to see his movie besides us, apparently. So, I think he was good enough to warrant a well, okay, he definitely doesn't need another fucking solo movie, but like, he can be in whatever team up movie they want to do with Blue Beetle in it. Sure. Let's do that.
Titans member, maybe? He's too old, maybe? I don't know.
He's pretty old, but I mean, yeah. Look, I'm not one of those guys that like it needs to be Teen Titans. Like I'm cool
Just
with
Titans
it.
is
Just
fine.
yeah, I am personally, but
I am too.
I'm in the minority.
I'm in the minority in thinking that I don't think Zolo did anything to stand out in that role at all. I've seen many people praise his performance as Blue Beetle online. I thought that was just one of the most forgettable lead performances in a superhero movie in a while. And so if he stays, cool, I guess. But like I said, to me personally, I've seen the movie twice now. He did literally nothing to put a stamp on that role at all. So that's just my opinion. The Night Agent season 2 has begun filming. It comes out later this year on Netflix. This was a kind of a big hit last year on Netflix. I enjoyed season 1. So fans of the Night Agent, we are in luck. Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew McConaughey are both in talks to star in the next series, the Yellowstone series. So this is another show that everybody watches except me, apparently. And so for fans of Yellowstone, you guys have 2 big names coming your way. Really big news here for HBO. A new Game of Thrones spinoff, Agon's Conquest, is in the works now. From writer Mattson Tomlin, who wrote the Batman. The series follows the Targaryens' bloody and brutal conquest of Westeros. So, for those who might need a little bit more context, Aegon is the first Targaryen to come over from Essos to Westeros, of course, using his dragons to take over. So, that's a story that many Game of Thrones fans have been wanting to see for a long time. Henry Cavill's name has been thrown in. I doubt he'll do it, but this is a really cool story. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, we've talked about this being in development or being rumored for years now. It seems like it's great that it's finally happening. Of course, I want this. If Henry Cavill does it, that's even better for me. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Let's do it.
Same, but Game of Thrones has had at least 4 or 5 spinoffs that have been announced that have never come to fruition. So I don't even, I want to put my hopes up too much, but I hope this happens because this is a really cool story in the Game of Thrones lore.
Yeah, I agree.
Abbot Elementary has been renewed for season 4 at ABC. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I know that you're not the biggest fan of the show, but I am happy that this show is succeeding regardless, and I'm happy that Quinta Brunson is still doing great work and she's winning awards, and the cast is winning awards for their work. There's not a lot of black shows out there that get any type of accreditation, and I'm glad that Quinta Brunson's show is. So I'm happy for the show, and yeah, season 4, let's do it.
Percy Jackson has been renewed for season 2 at Disney Plus. Any thoughts on this?
This is a good thing. I mean, look, the first season of Percy Jackson was literally the worst TV show I've ever seen. And guys, I've seen some fucking stinkers in my lifetime. And I think that this show can only get better. I think it was
the most disappointing you've ever seen. There's no way that was the worst show you've ever seen. I hated it too, but there's no way that was the worst show you've ever seen. Probably the most disappointing for sure.
Let me think right now on the spot. No, this
I know
was
you watched some ass shows. Come on.
This was bad. Oh yeah, of course, but this was
okay.
Oh my god. But look, my point in saying that is that it can only go up. Like it can only get better.
You keep tweeting that. Why are you under this impression that it can only get better? Like,
nigga, I'm trying to be optimistic. That's why. Damn. Like
okay.
Like okay, yeah. Look, the reality is that it's going to be the same.
Literally get worse.
Yeah, like not for me. The reality is it's probably going to be the same bullshit that happened in season 1. But hopefully it's not. And hopefully season 2 will be better. So that's my optimistic take.
I literally want them to just scrap it, to be honest, but that won't happen. And start over. The Last of Us season 2 will reportedly have 7 episodes. The second game will be adapted into 2 total seasons, so that's interesting. Neil Druckmann also can. Well, first of all, what are your thoughts on that? On the part 2 Last of Us game getting 2 seasons as opposed to how the first game got 1 season.
I don't like
Is there
it.
enough?
I
I
mean,
didn't watch the game, or is there enough story for that?
yeah, there is. I mean, but not much. This is going to be 7 episodes, and the next season is going to be 4 or 5, maybe. I think they're doing this solely for content's sake and solely
Yeah,
for the financial part of it.
trying to stall till part 3 comes out, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just trying to stall until they can get the part 3 either video game or TV show out. So yeah.
Neil Druckmann, the creator, confirmed that there's also a standalone story written about Tommy, which is Joel's brother, that takes place after The Last of Us 2. It's undecided if it will be a video game or a TV series. Which one would you want for a Tommy spinoff?
I mean, the video game in me, that's the way that I originally consumed this. So yeah, like I would want a DLC or whatever they're gonna do and have Tommy. That would be amazing for me. But if they decide to go the show route, whatever, that's fine too.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't play the games, but is Tommy like a cool enough character you think to warrant getting his own thing?
To me, he is, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Okay.
just being Joel's brother is just a part of who Tommy is. So yeah.
Okay. Bob Iger, once again president of Disney, says that Moana 2 was originally a Disney Plus series, but is now being turned into a movie, which comes out this year, November 27th. Fun fact: the girl who played Janice in the Mean Girls reboot is the voice of Moana, and she'll be returning as well. So, any thoughts on this?
I'm not sure how he could think that a sequel to one of the most popular things that Disney's ever put
Right.
out should be on
That just
Disney
screamed
Plus.
racism to me. Like I was like,
Yeah,
what? Like,
low key it does, unfortunately, but it looks like he has the right people around him because they were like, "What the fuck are we doing? Like this needs to go on the big screen."
right.
And it looks like the Rock is returning as well. So let's do it, man. I'm here for it.
Yeah, the Rock has an interesting path here because he's going to play Maui in the live action and also returning from Moana 2. So he's got a lot of Moana bookings. And like you said, like if this was Frozen 3 or 4, they would never consider making that shit a TV show.
Yep.
So I'm just like Moana was so successful, so big, so popular among so many people. That's an interesting choice.
Yep.
A new Evil Dead spinoff movie is also in the works. Did you watch Evil Dead Rise last year, which is becoming people are really starting to like catch on to that movie and watch it a lot more. I saw it too. I didn't think it was all that, but are you a fan of the Evil Dead franchise? And what are your thoughts on this new Evil Dead movie?
Not a fan of the franchise. Literally don't know what this is. Don't even remember Evil Dead Rise from last year. So yeah.
Okay, well, this is the Evil Dead movies are the movies that kind of got Sam Raimi like to be as big as he is to do the Spider-Man movies. It's a horror zombie franchise. It's pretty popular. It's got like a cult following. Evil Dead
Mm.
Rise was a spinoff of that franchise that came out last year. It was decent. It wasn't bad at all. A lot of guts, a lot of gore. But that movie, people love it in the Evil Dead franchise, and so yeah, it's getting another one. A new Predator movie is in the works titled
Mm.
Badlands. This is not Prey 2, but there's also going to be a Prey 2 in the works as well. So, what are your thoughts on that news?
Interesting. I mean, it. I saw a tweet that pretty much summed up my thoughts. It was like it took them 40 years to realize that Predator in any time or any kind of space is just cool and like unique to do. Like I'm not sure why they take so long to pump these things out, but I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't want them to just give me some bullshit like Predator 2 or Predator 3 or whatever the case may be. So hopefully this Badlands thing will be good. And hopefully Prey 2 will be good because Prey 1 was good. I enjoy Alien versus Predator myself. And
Me
of
too.
course
Me fucking too.
of course the OG Predator is still king. So I'm here for this, man. I love this.
Did you like Requiem?
I is that the one where they were like big as fuck?
That's AVP 2 essentially.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I've seen Requiem then.
Oh, okay. I love Predators with Adrian Brody too. Like I feel like I love that movie. Like I don't know why. Like it's just really cool.
It was all right.
And the Predator or the Predator, which came out with Sterling K. Brown a couple years ago, that was just okay. I only saw it once in theaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, in regards, thank you for giving me all that energy back. In regards to this news, yeah, Prey. I'm once again I was in the minority. I thought it was just okay. People loved it though, but I would see a Prey 2. I want them to not do the same time period. I mean, I wonder if they're going to go the whole indigenous time period again, or they're going to go maybe fast forward a little bit, maybe like medieval time, or that's in the past, I guess. I don't know. I think a different time period would be cool for Prey 2. What would you want in Prey 2?
uh, I feel like if they
You
go
want like
too
same characters
far,
back?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if they go too far, they're kind of like it would just be ridiculous. So like, just bring the first girl back from Prey.
Yeah.
Maybe make it 10 or 15 years later, or whatever the case may be, and she knows how to kill the predator or at least deal with it. I mean, she's going to die. Like, she's not going to be the main character. And then whoever, like her daughter, I guess,
Oh, so
we're
you're
in that.
casting a new actress then? Because 10, 15. I mean, the movie just came out 3 years ago. I mean, she
Yeah,
can't
new
age 10 to
actress.
15 years. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And also more details on Badlands. It's going to apparently be set in the near future. And it has a female lead. So I have a hot take about these franchises doing these female leads. Like, do females really care about a Predator movie having a female lead? Like, do they really care? I don't know. I hope I'm not
Mm,
being sexist by saying that, but is there enough female fans of the Predator franchise to be like, yeah, we want a female lead? Or are they just trying to? I don't know.
well,
What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like, especially in these kind of films, it's more so about being able to gain sympathy for the lead, and it's just easier to have sympathy for a woman than it is a man running for his life. So, I think that's why we have the this kind of trope of like female leads, and of course, for the women out there that may see this movie, there's going to be a point where the woman overcomes this and she's a total badass.
But
So
we
I
just
think
got
that's
that
all
in
part of it.
praise. We just got that in praise. So why are we doubling down on it with the whole new thing?
I
That's
mean,
my
why not?
thing.
I mean, Sigourney Weaver did it. Linda Hamilton did it. Like, why not?
Yeah, and you like the big. Okay, anyway.
What?
Also, I'm just happy that Alien and Predator are both getting their due and both still pumping out content because there's also a new Alien movie coming out, I believe, either this year or next year, which I'm really excited for too. So, yeah, I love the Alien Predator universe or whatever. Um, Butch Hartman, I guess the creator of Danny Phantom,
Yes,
wants
and the
Tom
Fairly Odd
Holland to play.
Parents.
Yeah, he wants Tom Holland to play a live action version of Danny Phantom. I feel like Tom Holland gets thrown in any fire when they're looking for an actor for this young kind of hip guy, I guess. What are your
Hmm.
thoughts on this? Would you want Tom Holland, old ass, to be Danny Phantom?
Yeah, sure, give it to me, I guess. At least I know that he wouldn't do it unless the script was good, quote unquote. Excuse me. And I feel like there would be a budget behind it if he agreed to do it. So hopefully it would get treated with care. So yeah, I'd rather be Tom Holland with a budget than it be some no name with a $10 million budget. That's just how I feel.
That'd be a no name, but at least somebody closer to high school age. I mean, Tom Holland could pull off high school. He literally just did 2 years
I'm
ago.
about to say what? Like,
Um,
he absolutely can.
how about like a Walker Scobell as Danny Phantom?
Get the fuck out of here. You're funny. You're funny.
um, Guys, The Color Purple will be available to stream on Max February 16th. I think this movie deserved way better than what it's getting. It should still be in its theatrical run, in my opinion. And so it's just kind of sad to see it come to streaming so soon and digital so soon. So, guys, go support it. It really is a really, even though I said it's not as good as the original. I think it's a really good movie. It's got a lot of whimsicalness and a lot of what's the word I'm trying to look for? A lot of just black power and joy on screen. I think it really does deserve to be seen. So, yeah.
It's crazy that Godzilla Minus One had a longer theatrical run than this movie. It's actually insane.
Nuts, right? I could have sworn that shit was gonna make $1 billion after the first day I went. Christmas Day, and that shit was 9 a.m. showing packed out. Like, whatever.
Mm-mm-mm.
Interesting news regarding the animation world or anime world. Funimation will shut down and officially merge with Crunchyroll on April 2nd. Watch History and The Queue can migrate over. All digital purchases on Funimation won't be supported, unfortunately, but pricing does also increase from $100 a year, increases to $100 a year in 2025. So, what are your thoughts on this? Does this affect you at all?
I mean, this has been happening for a little while now. I mean, I closed my Funimation account last year when they announced that this was happening, and just moved exclusively to Crunchyroll. There was really no point in me having both anyway, because they have mostly the same thing. So, um, yeah, this doesn't really impact me, honestly. So,
Okay.
Crunchyroll.
Cool. Did you watch any shows or movies in the
Nothing.
last time we talked? Okay. I watched one show and one movie. The show that I watched was the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring Donald Glover and created by Donald Glover as well.
Been hearing
And
a
his
lot of praise about this.
his co-lead, her name is Maya Erskine. She's actually the voice actor of Mizu from the Blue Eye Samurai show
Mm.
on Netflix.
Love that show.
This show had one of the most interesting, I guess, controversies before it came out about people not supporting it because they're not sexy enough. Of course, in comparison to Brad and Angelina, I was on that train as well. I admit, I wasn't loud about it on Twitter and not threatening not to watch the show or whatever. But it was kind of an interesting choice because that OG film did rely so much on the sex appeal of those two people at the time. So this, as I expected, this is a very different tonally show than the OG movie. It's kind of, it has like the Atlanta, like the FX Atlanta kind of style of comedy, which is that very kind of subdued, dry comedy, but it's not as abstract as that show is. It's very kind of to the point, and in a good way, which I appreciate it because I feel like Atlanta did kind of lose itself sometimes with the abstractness. So this is kind of what I wanted, I guess. It was a very, very interesting show. And I really appreciate it because like we're like in a current time now, like all these different spy stuff is coming out, like Argyle or Kingsman or the Mission Impossible movies, and they're all like over the top kind of spy stuff. This is a very drawn back, just more like realistic kind of take on it, and I really appreciated that kind of change in pace, in the spy genre. The show is really cool because like every episode like a different mission that they go on, which is like different than the previous one. But I think really more so than anything, the focus of the show is more so like going through the stages of a marriage, which is really interesting. Like each episode has a different title and like a different theme to that episode, like regarding marriage. Like some episodes deal with sex or infidelity or therapy or kids, and so that's really really cool how it kind of approaches that. And there's a big plot point in the OG film regarding Brad and Angelina like wanting to kill each other. I'm like, are they going to go that plot point at all, or just this is a whole new thing? And they eventually do get to it, and it got to it in a very organic way. So I really did like that. And I think controversial or contrary to popular belief or whatever, this main point of this show is not like all the spy shit. Like that's like really like the background or the backdrop. Really, this is like just a show about like a relationship between these two people, which I think is done really, really well. My only issue with the show is one thing is that I think that Donald Glover's character is obviously like the guy that's supposed to be funny and get all the laughs, right? And Maya Erskine's character is like the straight man, so to speak. And I feel like she didn't always match Donald Glover's chemistry. And I know it's a lot harder to do that as a straight man, but it can be done like with like Men in Black. Like Will Smith is the guy that everybody laughs at, but Tommy Lee Jones is such a good straight man that it elevates that chemistry and that bond because they're both just so good and on their cues. And so I guess if Donald Glover has somebody who kind of more so matched that chemistry and his energy a lot more, I think it'd be a better pairing. But overall, I think Maya Erskine still did good enough. I gave the show a B plus. It was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. It was a surprise for me, to be honest. So I'd recommend this to anybody, to be honest. It's really good stuff.
Did you originally watch this because you heard other people saying that it was good?
I don't think so. I think I just watched it because I finished it like in like 3 days after it came out. So I don't think so. Because I just support Donald Glover. I think he's just super talented and yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was good though. I watched one movie called Suncoast. This movie is now streaming on Hulu. It's starring Nico Parker, who's daughter of Tandy Newton. She plays Sarah in The Last of Us episode 1, Joel's daughter. And it stars Woody Harrelson and some other people as well. Laura Linney. I think this movie is one of those. The plot is like the genre is like a melodramatic, bubbly coming of age movie, and those three things, if you know me, is like right up my alley. Like I'm gonna love this movie. And so honestly, though, it wasn't. It wasn't all that to me. I feel like this movie did a good job of like taking on the guilt of like that somebody feels when they have a loved one that they're taking care of, and you gotta, you have that guilt of like, do I do my own thing and live my own life? I also want to take care of this person that I love. It handles that part really well, but the film is also written, directed, and based on the real life of the director named Laura Chen. And typically, when movies are written by somebody that actually lived that life experience, it feels like very intimate and feels like only they can tell that story. And with this, it just didn't feel that way. It felt like anybody could have made this movie, and so it kind of lacked the intimacy that I would have wanted from a movie based on somebody's real life when they wrote it and directed it. And so overall, I gave it a C. It's not a bad watch at all. I think Nico Parker's a rising star. Definitely look out for her. But I mean, if you want something to watch, I'll throw it on. It's called Suncoast on Hulu. All right, moving on. Video game news. There's a mobile game version of Elden Ring, which is now in the works. It will be a free-to-play game with in-app purchases. Do you play Elden Ring, or does this mean anything to you?
I never played Elden Ring. No, won Game of the Year last year, I believe. But no, I never played it. Don't really plan to play it. It's not really my style of game. That's just too deep into the rabbit hole. Elden Ring is one of those games where like you can fuck around and spend 20 hours in a day on that bitch, and I just don't have time to lose myself like that. So I can't play those kind of games.
Okay, that's fair. These following games, is considering releasing on PlayStation in the future. So, Hi-Fi Rush, I never heard of that. Gears of War, Sea of Thieves, Starfield, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Um, you have both Xbox and PlayStation, right? But what are the
Hmm.
implications of this, and does this mean anything in the game community?
I mean, I think it has huge implications. I mean, like gaming's entire history has been pretty much built upon exclusives, and Nintendo and Sony had a death grip on it in the 90s and the 80s, or excuse me, in the 90s and the 2000s. And then when the Xbox 360 came out, all of a sudden Microsoft had a death grip on exclusives with Halo, Gears of War, Resident Evil, Perfect Dark, and shit like that. Like, and then I mean, but it felt like Microsoft would like never lose their hold, but then I don't know. Sony and Nintendo just kept putting shit out, like The Last of Us or the new God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, or for Nintendo, you have all these Mario's and Breath of the Wild, and Microsoft just isn't releasing anything. Like they're, I don't think that they've had a guild exclusive in my 20s. I'm 30,
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm about to be 31 in 6 days. So that's not good. That's not good. So I guess it's leading them to sign a deal with the devil and essentially, and like give some of their games to PlayStation so they can stay afloat. Um, I'm not sure what else they can do. I mean, I don't I don't think that like Microsoft is in trouble of like not making consoles anymore. I'm not going to go that far, but if you're a kid, why would you want an Xbox? Like why? Like literally what reason is there to get an Xbox? I mean, you could if you just wanted a Nintendo Switch because you want to play Mario or Zelda or Donkey Kong or whatever, I get it. If you just want a PlayStation because you want to play Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, God of War, I get it.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I get it. But why the fuck would you want an Xbox to play Halo 3 that came out in 2006? Like, I don't know. Like, Microsoft has a problem. So yeah, this
Good point.
this this is this is big news. Honestly, this may be bigger than we realize. Hopefully, this isn't the end, or I guess I'd just say the beginning of the end. But I think that this is dangerous. Honestly,
Okay. Disney and Fortnite are partnering to make a new gaming universe. Disney has invested $1.5 billion into Epic Games, quote, our biggest foray into the gaming space ever. So Marvel, Star Wars, all the Disney princesses, they're getting their own kind of world, I guess, based around the Fortnite universe, but not in Fortnite, though. So its own Disney kind of thing. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't really understand what this means. Like
It kind of gives you
I've
Kingdom
read
Heart
it.
vibes, right?
So initially, but is Fortnite that interesting to where they can just do this? I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. Like, okay. I mean, but Disney already has their own. Disney literally already owns Kingdom Hearts. So, like, are they just? Why would they do it again with Fortnite? Is kind of my thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really understand what this means. So,
Maybe maybe Kingdom Hearts isn't the Fortnite style of play, which is so popular right now. Which I assume it is not, right? The open world kind of play.
I I guess I don't know. I mean, I'll have to see more about this. Like when this came out and they said they put $1 billion into it, like I don't really understand it yet. So uh maybe time will tell with this.
Let's talk some trailers, guys. We have the first trailer is for a documentary. Actually, it's called "Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV." This is a
Interesting.
four-part docu-series investigating the toxic environment, but behind Dan Schneider's Nickelodeon reign. So Dan Schneider made a lot of our classics like Zoe 101, Victorious, iCarly, Drake and Josh, all that shit. It premieres March 17th on Investigation Discovery. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
First of all, this was a really well put together trailer. You can tell that this was for like a big TV network. because like they were like, oh, and then this is gonna happen, and then that's gonna happen, and there's this big reveal, and who is the person that got fucked in the ass by Dan Schneider? Who is it?
Oh my god! Wow.
Have you ever told your story? Okay. Yeah, man. Look, I mean, I'm not gonna say we've known that child actors. Well, no, actually, we have. We've known that child actors have had it rough for a long fucking time. I had no idea that there was a fucking tyrant at Nickelodeon, though.
Seriously, you didn't, really? I heard about Dan Schneider for years.
I've never heard Dan Snyder's name. I've never heard this Dan Schneider investigation.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So, yeah, I mean, this looks hella interesting. Obviously, this is stuff that we grew up with, and like the stars that we grew up with. So, this will be an interesting watch for sure.
Yeah, Dan Schneider's, man. I've been hearing about this for a long, long time. But he made some of like the most iconic shows on Nickelodeon ever. Like any live action show on Nickelodeon, like he pretty much made it. And it's funny because at the end of this trailer, they tease like some super big star finally about to come out and tell their story.
Saying, yeah.
Like Nick, watch it be like Drake and Josh's mom in the show or some shit like that. Like, I mean, she's big, but sure. I mean, she ain't big. I don't think it's gonna be somebody like Ariana Grande or like Victoria Justice or something like that. But if it is, that'd be cool to see. I mean, not cool from what happened to them, but I mean, cool to have them, I guess, tell their story.
Might be Amanda Bynes.
Maybe Amanda Bynes, yeah. But I can just tell how they teased it. It's gonna be somebody that's not really that big, but we'll see.
Probably.
But I'm glad the story's getting out and these kids can get their, or these adults now, can get some kind of closure, I guess. We have the trailer for the new Knuckles show, releasing April 26th on Paramount Plus. Look, if you put,
you know, Mondi, I often talk about representation, how much it matters, and how easy it is to just get the niggas. Like we don't need to know nothing. All we heard was motherfucking ding, 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 ding. Nigga, we in there, nigga. We in there.
Open at night, nigga.
A motherfucking, what is this on Paramount Plus? This is streaming somewhere. Plus. Yeah, like nigga, open at night, bitch. Like what the fuck? Like why? Why is it so easy? I can't stand us sometimes. Like I can't because like and like you know like we can't even help it. Like literally, like I heard it and I was just like I'm on board, bitch. Like let's go. And it's so sad that it's so easy to get us. Like I don't remember a goddamn thing about this trailer. Like you like I don't remember a single plot point. Actually that's not true. I do remember that they tried to reenact the "You think I need your power, nigga" scene.
Oh, by Kid Cudi, yeah.
Yeah, but Kid Cudi, yeah. But like come on, bro.
She was like, yes, you do need his power. You're literally trying to get it right now. That's funny.
Yeah. Shout out to Knuckles on Paramount Plus, streaming shortly, I'm assuming. I'll be there opening night.
Bro, I'm so proud of the Sonic universe. Like, I feel like the Sonic universe's stepdaddy. Like, I'm just happy to see them flourish. I don't know why.
We built that shit, nigga.
I love how they're just leaning to the fact that Knuckles is a nigga. Like we've always like kind of like thought about like how Piccolo's a nigga. Like we always thought like Knuckles is kind of like the nigga of the group. Like he has the dreads and everything. Voiced by Idris Elba.
They said that nigga. They said this nigga's hair is dreads. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. Okay.
And they're just leaning into it, and I love that. I mean, I hate that he gets like another random white man sidekick. Like, can we just have like we really took it over the top for real? We had like a black sidekick too. Well, I guess that's too nigga for them.
Yeah, come on now. Hold on now. We gave you the song. All right.
Go that far down the nigga hole. But yeah, I'll be watching it. It looks like a fun time, to be honest. Sonic appeared briefly. So I'm sure he'll be on episode 1 for 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Yep. If that. Yeah.
Hopefully this has some implications that kind of lead into Sonic 3. That'd be really cool. The SCU. That'd be really cool.
Bring it on, baby.
Giancarlo Esposito stars in the first trailer for his new series, Parish, which premieres on March 31st on AMC. What are your thoughts on Giancarlo being Nigga Wick?
Yes. The man who once did a dangerous job, who is retired, who gets sucked back into the life, but he doesn't want to do it anymore. Oh, God. How many times have you seen this? Oh, yes. There's definitely a white woman. Look, I love Giancarlo. I love AMC.
You love AMC?
I love AMC. I'm Monty. I'm not. No. Like, I'll check your Instagram. I'm sorry. I don't care about this.
It's so funny seeing them put these old niggas in these kind of roles. Like Liam Neeson, what have you fucking started? Like
That nigga was too good.
I love Giancarlo as much as the next guy, but in real life, if this 60-year-old nigga would have fell down just a flight of stairs, he's in the hospital for weeks. He's out of commission for weeks. And so just the fact that they keep putting these old ass niggas in these roles, man, shout out to him. He probably never thought he'd get this role in his life. So shout out to him.
Probably, yeah.
We have the trailer for A24's new movie Love Lies Bleeding, starring Kristen Stewart, coming in theaters March 15th. A very interesting trailer, as you would expect from an A24 movie. But what are your thoughts?
I wasn't really sure what to make of this in terms of not just tone, but in terms of like plot. That's not always a bad thing. I mean, you know, I am the guy who complains and says you need to give me something in a trailer, and I stand by that. But then you have trailers like Shyamalan's last movie where like they just give you the movie. So this was interesting. I mean, it looks like a drama-filled revenge fest, which I just love. So yeah. But again, like I said, the trailer didn't give us much, so I could be completely wrong. And I guess I'll check your Instagram. I'm not watching this either. I don't care that Kristen Stewart's in it.
Yeah, I honestly, after watching this trailer, I wouldn't watch this movie either. But apparently, this movie has been killing at the festival circuit. Like it's been destroying. People are saying it's amazing.
I mean,
it's so funny how both Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson's careers have just blossomed at the twilight. Like people were so convinced they just couldn't act and were only in good for these little YA adaptations, and they're both like really actually A-list talented actors now. So I love that for them. So I probably will check this out just because of the buzz it's been getting. It's been getting a lot of buzz. We have the first trailer for A Quiet Place Day 1 in theaters June 28th, starring Lupita Nyong'o. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
Man, this is a good trailer. This is only like a minute and a half. I liked the introduction that they gave us where, where we met John Krasinski's family again, that we met, when his son died. And then it brings you all the way back to where it first happened. And that shot of just the aliens invading Earth. Oh my God, man. That shit is just like, yeah, like I'm going to be there opening night. Like, I can't wait for this now. And Lupita, man, she brought it in a trailer. Like I was feeling it in a trailer. Like Lupita, like, yes, bitch. Like, yes. I love her, man. I love her. I love I'm gonna fuck his name up. Demon Hinsu.
Jamal Hunsu.
Yeah, I love him, man. I can't wait for this, man. I'll be there opening night. This has a chance to be the movie of the year for me. I'm that excited for this.
Yeah, A Quiet Place has the Toy Story effect. I'm like, why are they making sequels? It's so good how it is, and then they make a sequel.
Then you see it, you're just like,
that was good as fuck. Like, it deserves to be here.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like the day one sequences in all the movies, part 1 and part 2, are some of my favorite sequences in the movies. It's just so cool seeing like just the sheer panic of like these aliens are just coming out of nowhere. Like, so to have a whole movie focused on that is really, really cool. I love the idea too that this movie seemed to be like a lot bigger in scope. Like A Quiet Place 1 and 2 seemed like very just small story with the family, which I liked. But they're kind of going like the big New York City route. Like this is just kind of encompass what that experience was like for the whole city, which is kind of cool as well. Because if you're gonna do something different, at least do it different, you know. But yeah, like you said, Lupita looked amazing in the trailer. Like she's bringing it. This like a homeless lady basically having the experience. This will be, she might have the skills already needed. That would be really cool. They brought in Jamon Hunsu. He was also in part 2, so I guess his story somehow connects to this, which is also kind of interesting as well. So yeah, overall, I'm just really excited for it. I think John Krasinski has a major hit franchise on his hands. I hope he keeps making these if it needs to be made. We have a new trailer for Twisters. Did you watch the Twister movies in the 90s?
So I watched the very first one, and it was so ass that I was just like, I can't stand these fucking disaster movies. But look, I saw it, 20 years later, like I'm sure at the time it was whatever, highly regarded.
The bee's knees.
Yeah, but that shit did not hold up. And this looked even more ass. Like,
wait, I have
these
a question.
niggas.
What made you watch Twister 20 years later? Like, it's not like a cultural movie of like.
I don't fucking know. Maybe
like,
maybe
throw on Twister.
What the fuck was I doing this random day? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch fucking Twister, bitch. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. I have no idea. But yeah. Like Lilith. So I mean, this trailer is about
Twisters.
obviously,
Plural.
Twister. Oh. But hold
More
on
than
now.
one.
It's also about people who love Twisters and who just want to create them and be inside them and fuck the Twisters. Like, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this.
Oh my god.
I'm not doing it again.
I'm on the fence with this one because I do love me just a fun disaster movie. Like San Andreas with The Rock is so stupid, but I can't say I didn't have a good time at the theater watching that movie. Geostorm, stupid as hell. I can't say I didn't have fun with it.
2012.
2012. Like I do have a soft spot for those kind of movies, unfortunately.
Poseidon.
Oh man, Glenn Powell. I like him. I think he has presence for sure. He's definitely having a budding career. I probably will end up watching this. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll let you know how it is.
Okay.
We have the trailer for Wicked Part 1. This is a movie starring Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, coming out Thanksgiving, based on the highly acclaimed play, which I just saw for the first time on Broadway last year. Loved it. What are your thoughts on this trailer as somebody that has no context?
Interesting, man. I saw this when I was at the poker room watching the Super Bowl. I was like, is this fucking Wizard of Oz? Like, are they remaking Wizard of Oz? What the fuck is going on? And then obviously, okay, Wicked comes across the screen. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what this is. Do these niggas think witches are a fucking joke? These nigga, she has a superhero suit up scene in the trailer. Like, she was like, this is my hat. This is my broom. And then she has a scene where she fucking jumps and does like a Superman punch. Like, wait a minute. When did the Wicked Witch of the West get powers like this? Like, wait, like what? But look, like you said, I have literally no context aside from fucking Wizard of Oz. So Wicked is apparently, I mean, I know they're based off of each other. That is the character, but this is something totally new. So shout out to Ariana Grande. She looked great, like in her makeup. And it looks like it has a budget and people who care about it. So like those things will typically get me in the theater because I'm tired of people phoning it in on me, man. So I'm gonna watch this. I'm actually excited for this.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This trailer got me hyped, bro. It's like a top 3 most anticipated now. Like I said, I did watch Wicked on Broadway last year.
You're green. Nigga, that's a nigga. That's a nigga.
Chill out. It's important to note, guys, that this is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. So we get to know how all of our characters that we know and love, like the Scarecrow, the Lion, the Wicked Witch of the West, Wicked Witch of the East, or Witch of the East, or whatever, how they all came to be. And so it's really cool how their plot lines kind of thread together. And so I'm really excited to see this. Is part 1. It should get a fucking Doom treatment. I love that. I love that. Like you said, it has a budget. Like it should like Narnia, Harry Potter level budget. So love that. And also, once again, they will not promote this as a musical. This is definitely a musical, guys, for those who may not be lost, who may be lost. And so movie studios are just scared, I guess, these days, man, to promote musicals as they really are. But when you have Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, some of the best voices that we have today in the movie, you should expect some kind of music, and there will definitely be music. So, guys, look forward to that. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I love this trailer. Last trailer here, guys, is the big one. It's not called Deadpool 3. It's called Deadpool and Wolverine. What are your thoughts on this Deadpool and Wolverine trailer?
Honestly, I was a little disappointed. But I feel like I'm coming from a different perspective than most. I'm not the biggest fan of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. Obviously, this is his movie. This is Deadpool 3, whatever title they want to give you. This is Deadpool 3. And I appreciate that he's in the MCU now. I think it's a big step for Disney. I mean, they even made a joke about pegging and Disney and like, cool, funny. But I don't know, man. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm just going to get like the 80-20, like I'm going to get 80% Deadpool and 20% Wolverine, which is not really what I'm signing up for.
No, it's no way they call it Deadpool and Wolverine and you get 20% Wolverine. There's no way. No way.
I hope you're right, and I hope that I'm wrong. But based on the trailer that we got where we didn't even see Wolverine, we saw a tiny glimpse of him.
I'm sure we'll get another trailer before it comes out, 2 more trailers, 3 more trailers, and we'll get more and more Wolverine, I'm sure.
Okay, well, this is my pessimistic view of the bullshit that they showed me. They made me wait for. I don't care about Deadpool. I don't. I mean, they're integrating the TVA, and he's in the MCU. We get it. He's in it. I don't. I need more. I need more personally.
This is the first time I saw a commercial for a trailer for a Super Bowl, and it says "Watch the full trailer online." That was interesting. I was like, okay. I guess they just want as many views as they can get on YouTube, as opposed to having it on the commercial or whatever. But yeah, that pegging line that Ryan Reynolds said actually cracked me the fuck up. And nigga said pegging is not new for me, but it is for Disney. Winks at the camera. Deadpool was being a fourth wall breaker as he always is. This movie looks like a lot of fun. I am a fan of the Deadpool movies. I still think, Julian, you should definitely watch Deadpool 2 because that will really explain and give you some context as to why the TVA would even be involved with him in the first place. Because there's some pretty big things that happen in Deadpool 2 regarding time and stuff like that. So I think you should watch it. And I think it's a good watch, honestly. Pyro is returning from X-Men 2. I don't know if you noticed him in the trailer.
Didn't.
Okay. But you know who Pyro is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy that fucking bitch-ass nigga fucking traded on Charles Xavier. He's back, so yes, I'm pretty sure we'll get way more callbacks than that when the movie actually comes out. And just that shot in the trailer of Wolverine standing over him with the shadow was a really good shot to me. And I really think Wolverine, first of all, he's getting his comic accurate costume, which is really, really cool. It's finally happening. I think this is going to be a really, really fun time. I'm excited for it for sure. Just last thing that we have to talk here about here, guys, is starting in 2026, the Oscars will add a new category for best casting. So, people have always been clamoring for best stunt work in a movie, which is apparently not going to happen anytime soon, but hopefully that happens soon. And lastly, for tidbit time, guys, Bradley Cooper reveals that he considered Adele and For a Star Is Born before deciding on Lady Gaga. Also said he actually pursued Beyonce as well. So even though I think that movie is really good, I loved Lady Gaga in that role. It would be really interesting seeing Adele or Beyonce in that role too. So, yeah. Have you seen A Star Is Born?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I've heard good things about it. I wonder why we didn't get a Joker 2 trailer for the Super Bowl. They are being so tight-lipped about this movie. I mean,
yeah,
they announced it as a musical, and we've barely gotten anything. It's supposed to come out this year, I believe. I mean,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Or a Venom 3 trailer. I'm surprised we didn't get that either.
Is that out this year too?
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever.
Speaking of Beyonce, guys, Beyonce announced her Super Bowl Renaissance Act 2 comes out March 20-something. It's going to be a country album, 16 new tracks. Can't wait. 2 new tracks are out right now. I'm a Beyonce fan, as you guys can obviously tell. So, yeah, really excited for that. But, yeah, anything else you want to add, Julian?
Make sure you like the video, guys. Comment down below. What was your favorite topic? Did you think Deadpool 3 was a great trailer? Or did you think it was ass? Let us know in the comments. Like the video. Mondi, thank you so much.
No, if you put
definitely the trailer of the night.
For sure.